Hey, what's up, y'all? Star Wars Outlaws. Ubisoft Forward recently showcased some additional gameplay footage, and we're going to be pointing out some things that you guys may have missed. Hopefully, after watching this video, you'll have some tips to help you get a good start when Star Wars Outlaws is released. If you're new here, you enjoyed the video, drop a sub and a like. One thing the developer mentioned is that these mini games, they're going to be scattered throughout the galaxy. Now, I don't know if there's going to be particular rewards for participating in these mini games, but that's still to be determined. Now, your protagonist Kay grew up around cantinas, and cantinas, they're like a good place to lay low, but also a place to find new opportunities. This is where you'll find intel to help you progress, and you'll also find work here. In these local cantinas, you'll also find merchants, and these merchants, they're often affiliated with syndicates. Your reputation with that syndicate will determine the interaction that you're able to have with that merchant. Merchants also use something called protocol droids. Because you speak the native language, you're able to bypass these droids. That could either lead to a good outcome or a bad one. Now let's talk about your ship. I have a feeling a lot of us are going to be spending a lot of time in our ships. You'll be using the EML 850 Light Freighter. Because of your scoundrel ways, you were able to get your hands on a diamond in the rough. And its reinforced hull allows you to transfer into any environment. Your ship was a prototype from a bygone era, but this ship was never put into mass production because of its high material costs. Now, space is dangerous, and you'll oftentimes run into pirates. A lot of these pirate ships, they're cheap and expendable, but that won't stop them from attempting to intimidate you. The Pike Syndicate owns a bunch of freighter ships that transport a bunch of different things, which makes them targets for pirates. And if you so happen to defend and prevent an attack on a Pike freighter, you will build reputation with the Pike Syndicate. I love how all these things are tied in together. Now let's get into your speeder bike, as this will oftentimes be your mode of transportation. You'll be using an S57 Cardinal. It's a multi-terrain bike and it's moddable. I imagine you'll have to use one of the experts to upgrade your bike. You could also call your speeder bike from far using a control module. Throughout your travels, keep an eye out for Imperial shuttles. They're usually an indicator that there's Imperial activity nearby. If this piques your interest, sometimes it'll be high risk, sometimes it'll be high reward. You also want to keep an eye out for the Jawa Sandcrawlers. They're salvage transport. They were originally created for mining, but now this is a place you can visit to get trade deals. Syndicate territories, they're scattered throughout the galaxy, and your reputation with that particular zone syndicate will determine if you can walk right in or be turned away. But do not despair. As the story progresses, your interactions with these territories, they'll change throughout the game. And your good old companion Nyx. Your support companion can distract enemies. It could also reveal enemies. It can loot and steal, and it can even toss your weapon when out of reach. And talking about weapons, you'll be using a VM19 heavy blaster, and you'll be able to switch modules on your blaster for a different type of attacks. To give you guys an example, your blaster will have a stun mode, so you can knock enemies out. If you're facing one of the enforcer droids, you can use the ion module blast. You'll take them right out. Or if you're facing off against a real strong enemy, you could use the power module. You also come across a variety of different weapons throughout the game, like this Imperial Z6 rotary blaster cannon. Every scoundrel will need like a lockpick. You'll be using something called a data spike. This data spike is concealed as a hairpin. From what I understand, if you want to increase your odds of success while exploring throughout the galaxies, you'll want to seek out experts to upgrade your blaster, speeder bike, and etc. And those are some of the things you may have missed. Hopefully you guys are excited as I am for the release of Star Wars Outlaws. The second we get any more additional information, we'll be sure to upload here. And if you guys are new, consider subscribing on your way out. I'll catch you on the next video.